Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Sletzy, and I'm back with yet another update related to the upcoming Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World mod update, Mounds and Mountains. So last time I met with you, I showed you the Maltese civilization, also known as the Knights of St. John, right? That was a pretty fun one. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you go check it out, since there was a lot of stuff I uncovered there between cards, units. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But, somebody in the comments mentioned that they wanted to see the unit textures up close, because I didn't really zoom in much, and I didn't have my mouse plugged in, so I figured now we'd actually look at all the unit textures in detail, including the hoop throwers, which I didn't think I didn't upgrade them for the previous upload, so we'll do that too, so you can see what their upgrades look like, their skins. Yeah, let's get into that. So I sort of already pre-trained about 5 of each unit here, of the unique units, that is. Trebs, Rams, Knights, Cranic, Ransomers, Longbowmen, Arbalesters, and the Hoops, and the Footman. So I got all those units already pre-done, so we'll just see what the upgrades look like as we research additional text from the Barracks Stable and Foundry. Alright, so let's begin. So I think first we can probably start with the Arbalester, since it's the first one that we see in the barracks. I'm just going to move them in closer to the barracks so we can click it pretty easily. Alright, so let's zoom this in. Okay, so these are our, let me use the arrow keys a bit there. These are our Arbalesters. Basically, they wear a nice suit of armor, they got the nice steel helmet, they got their crossbow. Nothing too exceptional, but I do like the detail of their uniforms. Now that we got the barracks, we can start to upgrade these units a little bit. So first we'll look at the veteran upgrade. Also, before we do that, I guess I could show you the backside as well. You can see the little cross between their green section and their leather. Alright, so let's do veteran upgrades now. Alright, I should really have the speed always wins on. Why don't I put that on for you? Make things a bit quicker. Alright, so wow, look at that. The textures really change even with just the veteran upgrade. Now they have a bit of a plume on their steel helmets now. They look a little bit more like a conquistador. Their basic armor before looked almost like Aztec armor, now has chainmail and more of a black textile to it. So yeah, clearly this unit has changed quite a bit. Also, did their crossbows get upgraded a bit as well? I think that we can see a bit more steel on the front of it now, so maybe it did also get an upgrade with that. Yeah, looks pretty good, you know. I mean, these are actually really detailed units. I think they're actually a little bit more detailed than the Arbalesters that were in Wars of Liberty, so they did a really good job with giving these guys some really nice looking uniforms. Now we'll do the guard upgrade. Oh wow, radical changes. So the steel helmet once again is changed. Now it looks like it's almost covering the... Is it covering the eyes, you think? Yeah, it's covering the eyes a little bit, looks like, probably to protect it from like blows of like spears, swords, arrows, things like that. Yeah, I can see a bit of a nose piece as well to the helmet to help protect that. The crossbow was also grown in size, I believe, to more of a full arbalest instead of a ordinary crossbow, probably to signify the increased damage they'll do. And now you can finally see the Maltese cross on their fabric now. They still got the chainmail. Definitely a much more formidable archery unit that you don't want to deal with. And let's see if the Imperial upgrade does anything with it. Yeah, I just saw the crossbow get even wider. I think it got a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. So yeah, the crossbow Arbalest does look a lot more deadly now, like it could shoot a lot bigger bolts. But I don't think the uniform really changed all that much compared to the other stuff. So yeah, pretty good artwork, I would say. I mean, Kados did a really good job with these, you know. These look like really good units. So now we're going to try Let's try the Ransors next. Let's move them over to the barracks. See how they look. Alright, so here's the Ransors. Those wonderful pikemen of ours. It's kind of neat how here they hold it up like a firearm instead of holding it outwards like they do in Wars of Liberty, like the pikemen here. Here they look more formal, I would say, since they're always holding their polearm up when they're standing in place, and then when they're moving they're also still holding it up, so pretty nice touch to it. But other than that, they sort of look like conquistador soldiers almost, holding a halberd, right? They got the helmet, the steel-plated armor on their chests. I like how they got a white section to their leggings and then a green section to the right, so a bit of variety. Let's get a veteran upgrade on them and see how they look. Oh wow, look at that. Their they got a lot more clothing on, I would say. It looks a bit thicker now. And then also some, see some lines in their steel plate now. So they look a little bit more armored than they did before. And is that a bit of gold plating on their armor as well? Yeah, I can see a bit of gold along the arm area around the neck and at the bottom of it, so I don't know if that's gold or bronze. They definitely look more vibrant now. Yeah. And did the halberd change at all by any chance? We'll have to check to see if the halberd polearm changes it as well when we go into the guard upgrade. So now let's get the guard upgrade. Oh. Ooh, interesting. So it almost seems like they gained less armor, but now they look... You know what? They actually don't even look like medieval soldiers. They look like soccer players now. Or football players. Yeah, it looks like a jersey they're wearing now. It doesn't even look like real armor. You know, I don't see any of the chainmail or steel plating or anything. Well, they didn't have chainmail, but they certainly had a lot of steel plating. I don't really see that. Let me get a bit closer and see if, is that armor? Is that real armor? Yeah, it doesn't even look like really that thick of an armor anymore, so maybe they're using some sort of modern technology so they don't have to wear such heavy metal on top of them to protect them. Yeah, but, oh, yeah, that's certainly an interesting one, and they don't even... Actually, when I look a bit closer, they do have chainmail underneath that because I can see it right around here. So they do have some chainmail. And it looks like they finally gained a bit of a feather or plume on their conquistador helmets now, too. So that's nice. Definitely a lot more different looking than the initial and the veteran upgrade, though. They definitely changed a lot. We're going to need some... a whole lot of wood for resources. Hopefully we don't have to do that too many times. Yep, so let's try the Imperial and see what happens. Nothing happens. The same unit. Oh well, that's alright. You know, I still like it. They definitely look a little bit more feminine, I would say, personally, but that's alright. Kind of wish they had a bit more steel plating on or something to make them look a little bit more warrior-like, but that's okay. Alright, so now we're going to try the Footman, the swordsman unit. So this is the merger between the Footman and the Wars of Liberty Maltese, as well as the longswordsman. So kind of a mishmash between the two unit-wise, but let's look at the unit up close, how they actually look. So in general, they got the same sort of steel helmet that all the units have had so far. They definitely look a little bit more festive, I would say, like a little bit more like they belong in the circus with those. Yeah, definitely. But, you know, it's personal opinion. I like the stripe patterns on them, though. Let's try actually upgrading these to see how they look with upgrades. I'm assuming they're going to get a lot more armor, though, because right now they don't look very armored like this. Oh, yep, definitely. Look at that nice steel-plated armor now that they get with the blue and the green striping on them. That's pretty good. And then they get the plume in the front of the helmet. Definitely looks much more warrior-like, I think, with this design than the previous one. Oh, absolutely. I mean, they look like they're ready for war now, I would say. They look less festive or less circus-like with this. And now I'm going to try the guard upgrade to see if they get even more armored. Oh, yep, that's definitely a lot more armored, a lot more Crusader-like. With the chainmail surrounding their neck, their head. Their armor, I imagine, underneath is a lot more thicker now. They got the full sort of skirt part of the armor. They got the Maltese cross on their fabric. So, yep, this is definitely more medieval knight Crusader looking design. That's really nice. Yeah, it almost looks like the Bone Guards almost, but clearly these are the Knights of St. John. They're the good guys, so they got the nice cross on them to represent that. And do they get any changes with the Imperial? Also, did their swords get an upgrade at all? I think maybe the handle of the sword got a little bit of a golden thing to it. You'll have to tell me. It looks a little bit different. We'll see how it looks when it's Imperial. Nothing happened when we went to Imperial Age. Oh yeah, look at this. Look, they get the little Maltese cross on their sheath as well for their sword. That's a nice little fine detail you might not see when you're looking on the looking from up above. So keep that in mind too. Nice detail. Now here are the bowmen. So these are basically just the longbowmen from the Wars of Liberty Maltese. Clearly not a skirm unit, more or less just a regular long-range archer now. Right now they look like peasant archers, just like you would imagine, right? During the wars between the English and the French, you would have all sorts of people in British society training to be longbowmen, always practicing at archery tournaments instead of other sports most of the time. So yep, I definitely agree with this starring design. It's really accurate to the unit, with the peasant looking cover over its head and the simple clothing. I wonder what it'll look like though once we start upgrading them a little bit. So I'll get the veteran upgrade right now. Yep, now they look more professional military. They get the more Maltese coloration in their fabric. They get the chainmail on their head and their neck area, so a lot more ready for war than before. They definitely look like real veterans now. So now they're starting to fit the color scheme of all the other Maltese infantry we've seen so far. Let's see what happens when we get them to the guard upgrade. So when we get them to the guard upgrade, they finally get steel helmets on their heads, so a lot of protection from above. The chainmail changed a bit on them as well to allow a little bit more breathing, I would assume. Then they got the nice Maltese cross on their fabric, just like all the other units do from the Knights of St. John Civ. And yeah, these guys definitely look ready for some archery combat. Let's see how they look though with the Imperial upgrade. Nothing changed with the Imperial upgrade though, so maybe that'll change in the future. We're done with the barracks now and we can move on to the stable. So let's see what happens with the knights. Here comes the knights. Those wonderful tanky cavalry units. So right now they look just like knights. They actually look like the bread boys almost, right? With the Crusader helmet. Ready to fight heresy wherever it comes. Yeah, that looks really nice. Good armor, steel-plated armor. They already got the Maltese sword cross built into them with the player color instead of the white. They even got the cross on the horse's bridle there. Really nice. So let's try up. And they got it in the back too of the saddle, which I really like. Good design pattern. Let's get these two veteran upgrades and see if they get any more plated than this. Oh wow, they get gold plating when we are already in the veteran upgrade. They're already gold plated, so a lot more like Elaine Magnan. That is a nice detail. Also, their swords look pretty deadly right now. They almost got a bit of a curvature to them, like a scimitar. I like that. Really nice textures. And what happens when we get these to the guard upgrade? Does anything happen after that? Oh wow, look at this. A lot of things happen when you go with the guard upgrade. Now they got more fabric built into their gold-plated armor. They got that Maltese crosses now, the white color. Now their horses have also gained a lot more armoring, as you can tell. You can see a bit of armoring around the head area. Now they got... I'm assuming they got chainmail on the horse now, blanketed by the Maltese cross over them. And then I noticed the sword actually got straighter and longer when I got the guard upgrade, so this is more of a European, like a longsword almost. So this will be reaching enemies a lot easier and a lot harder. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what happens when we get the Imperial upgrade for these. So Imperial upgrade, nothing really changed too much. Now we can move on to the Cranic liner, the mounted crossbowman. So these guys are basically just your average cav archer, only a little bit different now in terms of stats. In Wars of Liberty, of course, they weren't actually a dragoon at all. They actually were more of like a mounted skirmisher, or what you would consider an AOTW like a cavalry archer, right? So good against infantry. Let's see what they're how they look right now, and we'll see how the upgrades look. So yeah, these guys look they already look pretty armored right now. You can still see the steel plating on them, the helmet. I can imagine you have to be a lot more armored on a horse than you do on foot, since you could always get injured falling off, you could always get injured by cavalry chasing after you, so you gotta be pretty well armored for the situation. And their crossbow looks like that of the Arbalesters at the start, so we'll have to see if the crossbow gets bigger and bigger as we upgrade the unit alongside its uniform, which is pretty good looking right now. Looks pretty archer-like, I would say. So let's get the veteran upgrade on these. Oh yeah, this unit, the crossbow gained the steel piece of the Arbalest. We see a lot more steel plating on this Arbalest now. You can see it on the shoulders, the chest area, the arms, the helmet. Their helmet's a lot more thicker now. Actually, wait a second. Is that the helmet of a Roman? Looks like a Roman centurion. Yeah, that looks like a Roman soldier, that helmet. Yeah, you can see the little flaps on in the back piece. That looks almost like a Roman helmet. yeah, that's kind of interesting. At least when you look at it up close, it looks like a Roman helmet almost. But maybe it's a bit of a medieval design, I don't know. Anyways, that was a good appearance change, so now we're going to get the guard upgrade and see how that looks. Oh, yep, this changed quite a bit. You get the Maltese cross on the center. Also, they got a nice white and green feather piece on the top of their helmet now. Their crossbows got even bigger. I'm going to get some more resources. Oh, lots of love. How do you like these units, by the way? I mean, we've gone through most of them so far. I honestly think, yeah, these are some really well-detailed Maltese units. It definitely looks like they're part of a single knightly order. So, definitely good job with these. And we'll see with the Imperial upgrade if the crossbow gets any bigger. Yep, the crossbow does upgrade just like the Arbalester, but the rest of the unit does not. So, yep. Good look, good appearances. Now, we're not done yet, though. We actually have 3 more units to do. We got the Hoopies, the Hoopy Cats, the Hoop Throwers. Let's see if they get any appearance changes when they get upgraded. Right now, they look like the way Hoop Throwers would always look like, just like in the icon, the little bit of protection for their face because they're dealing with a lot of fire and smoke when they're throwing those flaming hoops at you. So let's see how they look when you upgrade them a little bit. Oh yeah, they get a bit of a coloration to them when you get the veteran upgrade though. So yeah, definitely notice that. How about the guard upgrade? I want to see if they get even more intense looking. Oh, now they look like fully fledged Knight of St. John hoop throwers. They helmet change. They got more steel plate armor on them. They got the Maltese cross, so these guys look more in line with the other units. And then if we get the Imperial Age, does anything happen to these? Let's see. Nope, nothing happened. So it's, I think in general most of the units don't change when you put them in the Imperial Age. Yeah, I don't think so. Now we got the siege rams, those wonderful battering rams. So let's put, I want to put these to the side, sort of, so we can see the other stuff. I don't want everything else getting covered because I'm thinking, hey, maybe this would be a good thumbnail for it, showing all these things up close. Yeah, that might be a pretty good idea. So let's try that. Right now it's just a lot of wood. Looks like an A-frame of a house right now, so nothing too much. Yeah, basically basically looks like an A-frame with, you know, the wind lug that comes out and bashes the buildings. You got the wind power of the wheels. Yeah, so let's upgrade these things and see how they look. I remember from the last upload I did, they do actually change a bit in appearance when you upgrade them to cap rams. I don't know when they go siege rams what they do, so let's see. Cap rams? Oh, yep, they actually do change. The wood coloring of the wheel and the battering part change. Also, some Maltese cross patterns were added on the top of the capped ram. So yeah, definitely a change unit. Also, yeah, also the wood change as well. Was it like a harder form of wood now than before? I think so. It does look like that. And then when we get the Imperial upgrade, let's see. The Siege Ram. Imperial Cap Ram. Nothing changes with the Imperial, so it's a lot like the other things in that sense. Looks like the AI finally made his way over here. That's alright. He can come if he wants. I got a full army here, so he's not going to live that long if he does do that. So let's just move one Treb over here so we can, you know, see all the other beautiful units that we have over here today. Put it right here. That's alright. That's alright with you, right? Okay. So this is actually I want to do it this way so we can see it a bit better. This is the trebuchet. This is your wonderful siege unit that you're going to hit buildings from long range with. You know, those 90-kilogram objects that your girlfriend can't obviously do, so you need these to do it. So let's do the upgrades and see if the patterns on it change at all with the technologies. So we're going to do the counterweight trebuchet first. Let's see if anything changes. Nothing changed with the counterweight trebuchet. Same wind pattern, same metal pattern, Imperial, nothing. So, yep, that's a bit dry, but that's totally fine because that means that we're finally done with all the units of the Knights of St. John for the Age of the World mod. So, there we have it, folks. These are how the units look. And get back over here. Don't worry about him. It's just one unit after all. Don't worry about that. So, yep, here we are. We're completely finished. So, tell me in the comments what you think about these units. They look really good. And it does look like Kados also wants to start, you know, adding new unit textures for upgrades for other civs as well. So, this is going to be a really complete looking mod now, since units will actually change their appearance with upgrades. A lot like, you know, the vanilla game. So, yeah. Good touch at things. But anyways, I enjoyed bringing it to you. See you on the next commentated upload I do. I'm signing off now from this one. GG and well played.